This is Slick Sam Sells You, the show where we sell you to advertisers, which is the entire point of YouTube if you didn't know. We are playing a little game within a game where we see what kind of advertisements you, the viewer, were shown, and then we try to play our next game or make our next video about whatever it is you saw the most of. Now before we dive into it, let's go ahead and look at some of the results that we got from the last video. Now, one thing that was interesting is we got a lot more variety than the last time. Assassin's Creed Valhalla still popped up the most as far as video games go, followed hotly by Call of Duty. But one of the other names that popped up the most was Tremfya, or Tremfya. I didn't actually see the advertisement, but you guys reported it quite a lot. I'd also like to note, rather amusingly, that we had a couple of commercials for manscaping. Less this time, actually, so I assume that you guys are all trim and ready to go by now. You don't need to see more of those. Still, interesting stuff. We also had a guy who had commercials for reindeer meat. Guy lives in Finland, go figure. Now, I had to debate with myself what I was going to do with this information. Last time we did Assassin's Creed, but we're not going to do the same video game twice. I thought about doing Call of Duty because it's the runner-up, and maybe it could swing in that direction with more data. But this Tremfya thing looked interesting to me, and I thought, what game can we play about psoriasis medicine? So I looked for something that had to do with medicine, and I found on Steam, Plague MD. Available at the time of this recording on Steam for sale, 15% off, for $5.09. 30% of that goes to Steam. Now I'm excited to dive into that, but before we do, I gotta go over the rules, which are important because if we don't follow them, the YouTube Gestapo is gonna kill my family, and I cannot go through that again. So here they are. 1. Don't do anything weird. Don't do anything out of the ordinary, that is. Don't click ads that you see unless you're genuinely interested in the product, just like you always normally would do. Also, don't watch ads if you don't really want to see them. Go ahead and skip them if they give you the chance to skip. The important thing isn't that you watch the whole ad, it's just you gotta tell me what it's about. So once you see what the ad's about, if you're no longer interested in the ad, you can skip it. Behave normally, just tell me what you saw, that's all I need. Simple, right? So you see the ad, you tell me what it was, you don't go out of your way or do anything too weird, right? We're not trying to actually game the system, we're just trying to see where the system leads us. And on that note, I've got a new twist and a final rule. Also tell me what is the next recommended video for you that isn't one of my videos. Go ahead and look on the right hand side and you'll see up there. Tell me what it is that you got. I'm curious to know. Let's open up the hood on this and see what kind of cockroaches scurry out. Now, because I know that you guys don't want to listen to my manic, non-stop, high-tempo energy, because what are we, a top YouTube channel? I'm gonna pass the keys on over to my friends who will carry us through the rest of the way. Take it away, guys.
Hello everyone, my name is Taylor.
And I am Ray. We are dancing with the devil, yes.
That's Peyton.
So today we're playing this game called Plague MD. It is an independent title for $5.09 on Steam. Steam takes 30% of that.
It looks like a $5 game.
Well, it plays like one too, but you never know. This is something that I was excited about this concept was I figured there would be commercials that would, not line up strictly with video games, and then you'd find some title and you'd just be like, all right, there, that one.
And then have a horrible time.
Well, not a horrible time. I mean, it was worth a laugh for a good, 30 minutes or so it depends on what you value for $5. This game's developers are Russian, so that $5 feeds his family for a week, yes.
You might be getting the exchange rates a little confused there.
Plus, they don't get the whole $5. Again, Steam takes 30%, so.
There is a real problem with Steam and just shovelware, though, being on their platform. Same with all the other app stores.
Well, that's the strategy now, isn't it? Like, if you don't have the budget to be a big AAA game, you just gotta release as much content as possible and hope that something gets scooped up in their algorithm. The problem that's facing YouTube is also on Steam. At least you didn't wind up with some crappy Bejeweled clone, yes. Yeah, well, the glorious thing about just scooping up games and you don't know what they are is you have no idea of knowing what they are. I mean, what if Plague MD had been the next Terraria?
That is exceptionally unlikely.
It could be the next Among Us. There's so many games that people put real time and passion into, and you just don't hear about them, you know? Well, it's definitely the first Plague MD.
I mean, we can't even verify that, to be honest.
Well, it does remind me of those times. Remember when they used to make Flash cartoons?
Oh, wow. We're showing a little bit of age there, Ray.
All right, well, they used to make Flash cartoons just to play for free. And they would go up on Newgrounds and everybody enjoyed them. Plague MD would be right at home in one of those. And I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing. In fact, this probably would have been a really well-received... Newgrounds had some questionable favorites, yes. Well, it was free entertainment. And this is $5 of entertainment where 30% is skimmed off the top by Steam. Plague MD can be yours for $5.09, 30% to Steam.
So, let's talk about our ad situation. What did we learn, if anything?
Okay, so here's the thing. I looked into two deals. First, I looked at the ads, and I also looked at the policies and stuff, and whether or not we're able to do this. And There are rules about asking people to watch ads. You definitely can't ask to click ads. That's forbidden. But as far as asking people to watch ads, apparently it's okay if you have some kind of reward system. And I'm not clear on that, but I assume that YouTube figures if you're doing it, you have a lawyer.
That's what every big company assumes about everyone, yes.
Well, hey, the risk is all on you. So if you can't afford a lawyer, then you'd have to settle. I don't know. Anyway.
You can't even settle. You don't have the money.
I can cry, but failing that. So anyway, though, I guess that you can actually ask people to watch ads if you promise to give them, I don't know, sword monies or something like that. And then the reward has to be given to them within the app. So I'm not sure that we can actually get away with saying, well, watch the ads and then we'll make videos based on the ads. Because there is a reward system and it's all based within the YouTube app. But, like I say, you can't really argue with a machine, so I don't know how exactly YouTube's going to go with that. So that's why it's important in the rules. If your normal behavior would be to skip ads or whatever, then, go on skipping them, because we can't ask you to actually just watch the ads.
Or so we believe.
Right, but I do think that we can ask you about the ads that you saw, and even that alone is interesting.
Well, again, what did we learn from people reporting their ads to us?
Well, first of all, I think that it goes to show that your personalized stuff is more important than the videos that you guys watch. Because, by my guess, the first time we said, okay, watch the ads, tell us what you see, and you guys watched the ads, and the second time, we got a lot more variety. That is, it was much more concentrated the first time through, and the second time it was just a bunch more stuff to write down. So, being willing to actually watch the ads, I guess, makes YouTube try more ads. Because they look at you guys and they say, oh, these guys will watch ads, so here's some different ads, here's more things for them to watch.
Based on our statistical sample of, 200 comments.
Yeah, which not all of which were even really telling us the ads, and I'm not sure if you've noticed our data's not super scientific. But there is a system in place, we know that much.
And the Earth revolves around the sun. Yes, that doesn't make us rocket scientists.
And speaking of all these ads, it's time for another one. Now remember the rules. Don't click on the ad unless you're legitimately interested in the product. Don't bother watching all the way through unless you're interested in it. You don't have to watch it, just tell us what you saw if you got an ad. That's all it is. Here we go. Man, we got an ad already? That one came up on us really quick.
Well, Sam made up the first 2 minutes.
If you think about it, that's 10% of the video right there.
Yeah, so, anyway, regarding our whole thing here.
Right, so I was thinking we were gonna see more Assassin's Creed advertisements because that's what we played. Right? So that's what would make sense. You see Assassin's Creed, YouTube would say, oh, you're interested in that game, let's show you these advertisements. But we actually, again, we got more variety of just kind of random things, and then, proportionally, I guess, less Assassin's Creed. There was still a lot of it.
But mostly we got psoriasis. Our viewers are sick, yes.
Sick with psoriasis, apparently.
Also, this time, Google services wound up being one of still the top things, but by a larger lead?
Yeah, Google is really their favorite product. I mean, it makes sense. I don't know why I didn't expect that to be the case.
What are you even doing in this game, Ray? Yes.
I don't know. The people come in and their symptoms are they have smoke coming out of their chests and I just try to feed them confetti.
Well, the book says you're supposed to salt an onion.
I don't know how to salt an onion. It's not very intuitive. Apparently I can mix the onions with the confetti and all of it together doesn't make a cure, but individually it does.
You don't know anything about medieval medicine, yes.
Well, I don't have a hacksaw to cut off their limbs or leeches or anything right now, so...
You're so stupid, Ray. The hacksaw is for when you have the gangrene. Confetti is when you have the sad. Onion is for when you have the smoke face.
Well... what are the leeches for then, Dr. Peyton?
Leeches are for Tuesdays. Yes.
Or if you want a haircut.
Yes, also good for a haircut. Taylor knows.
You know, medicine would be a lot easier if anytime someone walked in, they just had smoke coming out of their ears. You'd be like, yep, classic smoke disease. We'll just clear this up with a bit of eggs.
I mean, if you could clear the problem up with eggs, you wouldn't even need a medical degree. Just ask Grandma.
I know. The problem I'm having is that mastering the controls is a game unto itself. I'm not entirely clear. How do I add this to that? It's kind of all trial and error. And sometimes I think I dragged the stuff over something and it solves the answer and I don't know what I did.
This incredibly bad reasoning ability does not bode well for our experiment, Ray.
Okay, look.
You really got nothing on that, huh?
Look, okay. a couple of people are like, I'm not really sure what you're expecting to find based on this, and I'm not sure either.
Well, okay, so what are your current... I mean, we've been asking what you're finding.
Well, alright, here's where I'm at right now. I think that ads are a lot more personalized than I originally believed. So we saw more variety because you guys watched you watched ads, and so YouTube was like, oh, we'll try more things because these guys are actually watching, right? So that means it doesn't matter what I put on the screen. YouTube doesn't care that I played Assassin's Creed. You guys didn't see more Assassin's Creed advertisements. Instead, it focused on you guys specifically, because Google is stalking you.
Well, okay, so wait, so that basically you're concluding that the experiment is a bust because nothing we do is going to change what Google shows them.
Well, sort of. I mean, all right, we can change the behavior of the viewers that we've got, right? So that's one thing that we can do. Although if we do that enough, I'm sure Google will just terminate the channel.
Well, right, the entire point is they're trying to build a model of everyone and then sell them to the advertisers. That's what we're doing. By the way, this game, Plague MD, available on Steam, $5.09 on sale now.
Right, Plague MD. Yes, okay, the point of YouTube is to make a model of the viewers and then sell them to advertisers using the knowledge that they have of the viewers.
Right, so you mess with their data, you tell everyone to change their behavior. This does sound like a bannable offense.
Right, because anything that doesn't help YouTube is illegal.
I mean, they control the platform and the entire online economy. What are you gonna do?
Well, okay, so this doesn't mean that the whole experiment is done. This just means that we have to change the scope, because our original hypothesis that the ads would change based on what we were showing, that's wrong. Like, we're finding that's incorrect.
Oh, you're a scientist.
Gross. Yes. Sure, that's right. I don't have a college degree, but this is the essence of science. You make a hypothesis, you test it. If you find it's wrong, you reevaluate the hypothesis, you test a new one.
All right, so what's your new hypothesis?
Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to see, like, what kind of recommendations people are getting. Because, all right, everything is individually tailored to you. I don't think that my channel is influencing the ads you see directly, but I do think that I'm like a data point that helps build the model of you, my viewer, for YouTube to sell.
Okay, how is this a different hypothesis? Because you already assumed that you were a data point, and so you play a different game, it triggers a different ad.
Right. Right, so... Taylor, you're being deconstructive, you've ruined everything!
I mean, this is what do we call this, peer review?
Okay, so I want to branch out into having more data, because we know that there are a certain number of ads out there. And so, like, we saw Sephora this time, and we didn't see Sephora last time. That's a makeup brand. Our channel has nothing to do with makeup. Does the person who got that, do you wear makeup?
I mean, that's hoping they see the video.
Well, I hope you do, because tell us, like, do you like makeup? Are you someone who wears makeup? And aside from that, though, like, if we look at the recommended video, whatever's not from our channel, then we might kind of get this idea of, like, all right, is everyone seeing similar recommended videos? Are you seeing it highly tailored to yourself? Because I got music that I listen to, and not something that's at all related to my own content. But of course, I'm on my own channel, and YouTube's trying to get me off of my channel and to see someone else. So what do you guys see?
Okay, well, here's something to think about. Regarding the ads deal, when I do see ads on YouTube, it's usually not something I'm personally interested in, right? So maybe they have a poor model for me.
That could be a thing too. I wonder if those of you guys who were seeing ads that you said didn't make any sense for you, are you like avid users of YouTube? Do you often use ad block and you just turned it off? Maybe your profile is messed up to begin with and they can't match things up to you very well.
That is a problem in sociology and all kinds of field sciences, is you have a lot of individuals with very disparate profiles and you're trying to unify it all.
Man, are we getting into like internet sociology? Should we be writing this down? Do we need to contact a college? Can I get a degree?
In sociology?
Yeah, may as well just get underwater basket weaving, right? Jeez. A degree is a degree. Like, if I got a free degree, okay?
You'd be on par with the Europeans.
Well, their degrees are good. Listen, I'm doing work. I'm doing science. And speaking of work, it's time for another ad break. Remember the rules. Only watch the ads if you like the ads and you're interested. Don't ever click an ad unless you are legitimately interested in the product. Tell us what ad you saw. Do not go out of your way to change your behavior. Here you go.
Okay, so everyone on their best behavior, hopefully including us.
I'm never on my best behavior, yes.
Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up is I've been seeing a lot of people with YouTube Premium making comments and saying like, "Ah, man, I feel so bad cause I got YouTube Premium and I can't participate in this." But don't feel bad. I mean, guys, you're like paying for a service, so enjoy that service. You put your money to it. Like, don't worry about it. It's cool. We're getting a lot of data back.
The ones I'm impressed with are the guys who are like, I turned off my ad blocker.
Yeah, man. I personally have an ad blocker, and I don't know, like, it really is kind of touching in a way.
Isn't it though? Like, for someone to turn their ad blocker off for you, holy crap.
I wouldn't even do that for you, Ray, yes.
Yeah, that's probably okay. I assume we can ask you to turn off your ad blocker just for us, if you're comfortable with that. But, I guess, okay, if you were running an ad blocker, maybe mention it in the comments along with the advertisements that you see. And then maybe we can figure out, like, is your model bad? Is that why you see ads that you like or don't like? I mean, tell us if you like the ads you got. That's another thing. In fact, if we could get speculation from you guys in general, like, I would love to hear everyone else's perspective on this whole concept.
Well, on that note, here's one thing to think about, is I know that some people, they get like and dislike buttons on their ads now, and there's some things that YouTube tries. But people often complain that they see the same things over and over again, regardless of whether they like the content, because the content is lucrative for YouTube.
Yeah, but does that go for ads? If you don't like an ad, will they keep showing you the ad anyway?
I did see a lot of people in the comments saying they didn't like their ads.
Well, we got some weird ones. People talking about stock investment, they have no intention of doing that sort of thing. I mean, they do have to be, the whole point of advertising is to show you things you might not be familiar with, right? So...
Yes, but algorithmically, is that what they're trying to do?
Or is it just like YouTube, where they're trying to put everyone into like a box of whatever works best for the company?
Well, anyway, what do you expect to see with the recommended video?
All right, I expect to see a lot of different responses, but I also think that there's going to be a lot of the usual culprits. You know, clickbaity, popular YouTubers that we all know, not because we like, but because we have to watch them.
Okay, so what'll that tell you?
Well, that again, my channel is not really considered a data point for anyone's profiles. And so everyone's just being sent off to other things because their profile says that this is what they go watch.
What do you normally get recommended, Ray?
For me, nothing, actually, because I don't click recommendations. So they always recommend that I watch stuff that I've already seen, and I feel really insulated all the time, but I also don't hate the things I already know I like.
Oh, so you have the profile of an old person, yes.
I liked weird, zany things the internet used to do. I don't like the new internet.
No one likes the new internet, Ray.
Who is this lady who keeps walking in here and standing around? Yes. I don't know, I think it's like somebody's wife or something? She doesn't say anything and I can bash her with this mallet, but I don't know what that does for me.
Plague MD can be yours for $5.09 on Steam right now. It's on sale. 30% of that goes to Steam.
This poor guy gives up $1.50 to Steam out of that $5 purchase. People sometimes talk, they're like, man, you know, it used to be better when things were free, but they're still practically for free. Like, this guy gets $3.50 for this game.
How many people look like they bought it?
I want to say like 20 people. It cost this guy $200 or something like that to upload it to Steam. He's had maybe enough sales to cover costs, maybe.
Man, it would have been just as good to upload it for free to Newgrounds.
I mean, would have many people have even seen it on Newgrounds? I hate the new internet. I hate this.
Well, old school Newgrounds would have given this guy some fame for the trouble, yes.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been money in it, but people would have at least known who he was. This is like, he pays money to be on Steam. They take $1.50 off every purchase. He gets $3.50 for the work. There's no promotion. And you know, I'm not saying it's an amazing game, but like, come on, the guy's being ripped off.
Plague MD could be yours for $5.09. Steam takes 30%.
Okay, so let's turn this around. I want to go out on a slightly more upbeat note. The amount of support for this concept has been amazing and really uplifting, so I want to do something with it. It seems like it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle if, in fact, all of you guys are trapped in a little bubble, which in my opinion is kind of scary.
I mean, you didn't know you were truly alone when you were so surrounded by people, right?
Yeah, no, like, your online space is so weirdly individual, and you never stop to realize it. So, share in the comments, what are you getting recommended? What kind of ads did you see? Tell us about the ads. And then we'll try to make our next video have something to do with that. We might take the recommendations into account, but I don't know if it'll be worthwhile for anything. But even if we're just talking about what is it that the computer is showing us, it's like shining a light in a formerly dark room, and I just think it's fascinating.
Well, you know what my potentially positive takeaway is? It's that we think about YouTubers and we call them something like influencers, but you know what this maybe goes to show? It might show that, Ray, you have no influence. And it's not that you're encouraging people, you're not influencing anything. It's that YouTube is matching people to your channel, knowing that they will watch your content.
I mean, that's not good news for us.
Well, no. But it's like, it's all these things. You hear these celebrity voices, you see these guys, and you know, like, you think of them as being important to a movement. They get up there and they say something controversial, and you're like, oh man, I'm really mad at that character on the screen. But it's possible that they really don't matter. And the thing was that YouTube figured out you were that type of person, and they linked you to that video because you were either going to shout at it or agree with it. And it was all you, the viewer, and not the channel. The channel has almost nothing to do with this.
You're just a receptacle, Ray. You're just a wastebasket for the people who will watch you, yes.
Man. It would make sense.
The story of your life, right?
The story of my life. Why is it people are always putting things in me?
Why are you so receptive to being a receptacle, Ray? That's the question you gotta ask yourself.
I want to be validated. Oh no. Oh God.
It's what they all have in common. It's what all the top YouTubers have in common. They just want to be validated.
Oh God. It's a pathology. Pathological or not, this is the end of the video. So, follow the rules. If you do see something at the end of the video and you're interested in it, go ahead and let us know what it was. Remember, don't click it unless you're interested, yada yada yada. Right? We're gonna find out. Can we actually influence you? Or is it all of you, our viewers, who emergently influence us? Tune in next time, we'll try to make sense of it. Slick Sam's!